The real truth about women in Dostoevsky's world isn't what most people think. In his novels, women aren't mere plot devices or romantic interests. They are profound spiritual forces that transform every man they encounter. Dostoevsky wrote women as fire, as mystery, as salvation, and as judgment. They never fade into the background but instead become the pivotal turning point in a man's journey. To Dostoevsky, a woman wasn't simply someone to be loved, she was someone who revealed truth. In his universe, the feminine presence carries a divine power that can either elevate a man toward redemption or expose his darkest nature. A woman could reveal a man's weakness, shame, and madness, or awaken in him something higher, something sacred. But she never leaves him unchanged. This vision is dangerous because it demands more from love than comfort or pleasure. It asks for confrontation rather than escape. In Dostoevsky's world, love doesn't just feel good, it makes us face who we really are. Look at Sonia in Crime and Punishment. She doesn't lecture Raskolnikov or judge him. Instead, she walks with him step by step into the darkest corners of his soul without fear, not because she's naive, but because she knows what it means to be broken. Her purity isn't untouched, it's forged in suffering. Or consider Nastasia Filipovna in The Idiot, radiant and destructive, adored and feared. She doesn't offer comfort, she offers a mirror that shatters every man who looks too closely. Men don't simply desire her, they are exposed by her presence. In the Brothers Karamazov, Grushenka begins as a figure of lust and chaos, but gradually reveals something more fragile. Wounds, abandonment, a hunger for love deeper than physical need. She becomes both test and revelation for the Karamazov brothers. Dostoevsky understood that passion without humility becomes a kind of violence. His male characters often confuse love with possession. They don't want to know a woman but to own her, to reduce her mystery into something controllable. Yet the feminine in his work refuses to be caged. The fallen women in his novels aren't written to be pitied but revered. Sonia sells her body to feed her family. Society calls her unclean, but Dostoevsky calls her a saint, not because she avoids sin but because she walks straight through it carrying others with her. His female characters carry suffering differently than men. Not with bitterness, but with quiet acceptance. Not with pride, but with depth. Their suffering doesn't diminish them, it sanctifies them. Not because it's noble to suffer, but because Dostoevsky saw suffering as the forge of the soul. For Dostoevsky, redemption rarely comes through doctrine or philosophy. It arrives through love, raw, undeserved, and often feminine. When his male characters fall into guilt, isolation, and madness, it's not reason that saves them but the quiet presence of a woman who sees their shame and does not look away. This is why Dostoevsky's vision of women remains so powerful today. He understood that the feminine isn't just a gender, it's a spiritual force that confronts, challenges, and ultimately transforms. In his world, women aren't decorations or rewards. They are mirrors of truth, and sometimes they show us exactly what we'd rather not see. What his female characters teach us is that true love doesn't demand perfection but honesty. It doesn't flatter, but purifies. And in a culture obsessed with power, Dostoevsky reminds us that sometimes salvation doesn't come through strength, but surrender, not to another person, but to the truth they help us finally face about ourselves.